Hello friends, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make your own love perfume. This will be using all herbal elements and a crystal. You know I love adding crystals to everything I do. And you can use this perfume to attract a new lover, a new relationship into your life, to strengthen an existing one, to keep that fire burning between the two of you. And this perfume was made for a woman to attract a man or a woman to attract another woman, but I'm already working on another video for next week that's geared more towards men, more of a men's cologne to attract a female or a male partner. And as always, make sure to cleanse your space before you begin making the oil. Here I'm using a strawberry incense, but you could use rose or sandalwood. Any of these are wonderful choices because they're full of loving intentions. And cleanse the area around you, cleanse yourself if you wanted to take a beautiful love bath before you begin this process. And of course, always make sure to clean your bottle. Here I'm using this cute little heart-shaped bottle, but you can use whatever you have lying around, an old jam bottle or jar, whatever you have. It doesn't really matter. I just really like the shape of this one. And I'm cleansing the inside and the outside. You can also clean this with soap and water before if it's from a thrift store or something, but just make sure to smoke the entire thing, and now we're ready to make our perfume. The first ingredient you'll be adding is rose petals, and roses are considered the original love flower. Red roses are often associated with romantic love, but you can also use pink. Roses have such a high frequency that is attuned to love. If you have dried roses from a bouquet a loved one gave you, or rose petals from your own garden, they are infused with loving intentions already, and they add that extra oomph to this oil. But if you don't have those, of course, you will be enchanting all of your herbs anyway. Make sure you are enchanting and putting your intentions of love into each ingredient before you place it into the bottle. I like to do this by placing the herbs between my palms, but you can also rub the herbs around in your palms by saying your enchantments out loud or in your head, whatever works for you. The next herb you'll be adding are rosebuds, and of course roses are renowned for their properties of love, romance, and lust, but as I have mentioned in previous videos, rosebuds are more reminiscent of a new budding love. If you are looking to grow an existing relationship, start over with a new partner, or even repair an existing one, rosebuds bring a youthful quality to this perfume which will make you feel like a child at heart with the one that you would like to attract. Next herb is cardamom. I love cardamom personally. It's one of my favorite scents. Cardamom is a very lusty, grounding, and warm herb. It's also considered a spice, so I use the words interchangeably. It can be used as an incense. You can put it in love sachets and potions. It is often added to wine to be used as a love potion to give your lover to fall more in love with you, or for you to become more attractive in their eyes. Jasmine is a very sensual, seductive herb. It is no coincidence that most of the ingredients in this perfume are wonderfully aromatic flowers and spices. Jasmine, in its fresh form, has an intoxicating scent, but when it is dried, it doesn't have much of a fragrance. Jasmine is also associated with the female goddess energy and the moon, so if you are a woman, this helps you feel more confident and alluring to your potential partners. If you wanted to add the essential oil instead of the dried flower, you can also add that. But the whole point of this perfume is to add the essence and vibration of the plant itself, not just for the actual aroma. If you have any of the essential oils of the herbs in this particular recipe, like rose petal or lavender, you can do a nice combination of maybe 2 or 3 of those essential oils just to give it that extra scent, but don't make it too overpowering. If you have a small bottle like this, I would add just 2 or 3 drops of maybe 3 fragrances maximum, so it just isn't so overpowering. Hibiscus is a beautiful herb for love potions. Like the cardamom and cinnamon, the hibiscus adds the more spicy, passionate energy to this blend. Much like its tangy, bright flavor, hibiscus also brings that same energy and vigor into your love life. Like you just saw me do, you can tear the whole hibiscus into smaller pieces And if you're able to find it in its cut form, those are usually available on more herby type of websites. But if you find hibiscus in the store as it's sold in tea form, they're always almost sold whole. Dragon's blood is added to any spell to add extra potency and power. Dragon's blood also makes a wonderful incense, so if you wanted to cleanse your bottle and your working space before doing this, with a couple of pieces of resin over a charcoal disc, it would be a great choice for any love working in general. It is said that in love potions, dragon's blood will entice lovers to return. The beautiful red color of the resin will turn the oil red. The color red in magic represents love, physical power, seduction, sexual energy, so crushing dragon's blood with your mortar will also help draw out that rich red pigment that will turn this oil a bright red color. To obtain that beautiful red color in the oil, some people like to add mica powder. So if you don't have access to any dragon's blood, you can add a small pinch of red mica powder into the oil. Clove is the next herb we'll be using, and clove is often used in healing or protection work, but in terms of love, clove is said to attract a lover nearer to you. It is ruled by the sun, so it's an extremely fiery and potent herb, and I am working with magical numbers in this recipe, so I'm using 3 cloves. If you wanted to use 5, 7, whatever magical number you like to work with, that is how many you'll be wanting to add to this. Lavender helps relax and open your heart. It quiets the mind so that the heart can listen. Lavender was once used by Cleopatra to seduce men and also by the women of the night to attract men. Lavender is just one of those great love herbs that will help relax your future partner and sedate them so that your love can just be smooth and easygoing, and it also helps you relax, let go of any worries or any past issues to just move forward with a fresh new energy. Here I am adding a single dried lavender bud from my garden. I just removed the bottom of the stalk, but you can, depending on the size of your bottle, put the entire thing in there. But of course, you can also use just the dried loose leaf lavender. Just add a pinch. Next is cinnamon, and you can use 1 small cinnamon stick. You can break it up into smaller pieces. Here I'm using 3 small cinnamon chips that I broke off of a longer piece, only because I have a very small bottle, but if you're using a larger size, you can put in a whole stick or 2 or 3, whatever magical number you want to work with. Cinnamon is fast acting, it raises spiritual vibrations, and it's used in most love formulas. It ignites passion, it sparks romance. Vanilla is a warm, soothing, calming, intoxicating, and enchanting herb. It can be used to sweeten up a situation, much like you would use honey or sugar. And I'm using a few small pieces of a vanilla bean. Vanilla bean's a pretty pricey ingredient, so if you wanted to use an extract, or if you had for some reason vanilla bean powder, or even a vanilla, like a fake vanilla essential oil, vanilla flavoring, anything that you have, you can add a few drops or a small teaspoon, but I chose to use the vanilla bean because I just like working with the whole herbal ingredient. And like I mentioned, you can use any amount of magical numbers. I think I used 7 pieces in this one. The last herbal ingredient that we're going to be adding is frankincense. And frankincense is actually a resin. It heightens the potency, the speed. It's much like cinnamon and dragon's blood. It just adds that extra kick to this recipe. It's a very high vibrational, amazing resin that you can add to pretty much any working to just add that extra little kick. And I am adding, I think I added about 7 pieces. I like the number 7 and I like the number 3, but work with whatever you're comfortable with. Or of course, if you don't work with magical numbers, just throw a pinch in there and that's fine. And this is the finished product. The only last thing that you'll be adding besides the herbs is a rose quartz piece. And you can add a few chips if you want, or a whole tumbled stone, or a raw piece, whatever you have on hand. And it just adds that extra loving, gentle vibrations that will just infuse your oil that much more. Of course, make sure that you're enchanting the rose quartz before you put it into the bottle. Lastly, you'll be wanting to add your oil, and for this perfume, I just felt called to use rose hip seed oil. I saw it sitting there in my apothecary, but this oil is pretty expensive. I just happened to have it on hand because I use it to make face serums. But whatever light, scentless oil you have, grapeseed, sunflower, almond oil, any of those would work, so don't worry about trying to find this type of oil. It just has a beautiful pink color that really adds to that loving vibration and energy that you're putting into this bottle. But here is the final product. I just love this little oil, and I would let this sit for a full moon cycle like I suggest with all my oils. And then you could dab this behind your ear. Just wear it as a regular perfume to attract the lover into your life, or keep your current relationship spicy and warm and just having that person attracted to you. I hope you guys like this recipe, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.